He always said the same thing. Not now. I'll do it later. And for years, later kept coming. Until one quiet afternoon, a doctor looked him in the eyes and said words that erased every later he had ever believed in. His name was Daniel. 42 years old. A regular man with a regular life. He worked in a small office, sat behind a desk most of the day, and spent his evenings doing the same routine he had followed for years. Eat dinner, scroll through his phone, watch a little TV, sleep late, wake up tired, repeat. Nothing dramatic, nothing unusual. From the outside, his life looked stable. He had a small apartment, a decent job, and a few friends he talked to sometimes. His parents lived in another city. He called them once every few weeks, usually when his mother called first. His life wasn't perfect. But it wasn't bad either, and because nothing felt urgent, he believed he had time. Time to visit his parents more often. Time to start taking care of his health. Time to travel someday. Time to fix the things in his life that never quite felt right. He always told himself the same sentence. I'll deal with it later. Later was a comfortable lie. It gave him permission to postpone everything that required effort, honesty, or courage. When his father asked him to visit more often, he said work was busy. When his doctor once suggested he should exercise and watch his diet, he laughed and said he was still young. When his old friend invited him to reconnect and catch up, he said maybe next month. There was always a reason. Work deadlines, traffic. The truth was simpler. He believed life would wait for him. Days turned into months. Months turned into years. And Daniel continued living in the quiet rhythm of delay. Every morning he rushed out the door with a coffee in one hand and his phone in the other. Breakfast was usually something quick. Sometimes nothing at all. Lunch came from the same fast food place near his office. Grazy, salty, convenient. By evening he felt drained. Too tired to cook. Too tired to exercise. Too tired to think about changing anything. So he ordered takeout, sat on the couch, and let the hours disappear into mindless scrolling. Occasionally, a small voice in the back of his mind whispered something uncomfortable. You should take better care of yourself. You should visit your parents. You should slow down. But he silenced that voice quickly. Not today. I'll start next week. There's still time. And life kept moving. One night, his mother called. Her voice sounded softer than usual. She asked when he was planning to visit. He told her soon. She said she missed him. He promised he would come next month. She sounded happy when he said that, but next month came, and Daniel didn't go. Work became busy again. Another deadline, another excuse, another later. At the office, he started noticing small things. A strange tightness in his chest sometimes. Shortness of breath when climbing stairs. A constant tiredness that sleep didn't fix. At first, he ignored it. Everyone gets tired, he thought. Everyone gets stressed. But the symptoms stayed. Some days they felt stronger. Other days they faded. Just enough to make him believe nothing serious was happening. His coworker once noticed him rubbing his chest during lunch. You okay? She asked. Daniel shrugged. Just stress. She told him maybe he should get checked. He laughed it off. I'm fine. The truth was, he didn't want to hear bad news. As long as he didn't see a doctor, he could keep believing everything was normal. Weeks passed. Then months. One morning, Daniel woke up feeling heavier than usual. Not pain, just a strange pressure inside his chest. Like something sitting quietly where it didn't belong. He drank coffee, took a quick shower, and rushed to work as usual. The day felt slower than normal. By afternoon, the pressure hadn't gone away. It was still there, quiet, persistent. His coworker noticed him again. You look pale, she said. Daniel smiled weakly. Probably just tired. But something inside him felt uneasy. For the first time in years, the voice in his mind didn't whisper. It spoke clearly. Maybe you should see a doctor. That evening, after work, he finally walked into a clinic. Just to be safe. That's what he told himself. Just a quick check. Nothing serious. The waiting room smelled like disinfectant and quiet worry. People sat in chairs staring at the floor, their phones, or nothing at all. Daniel filled out the form and waited. Part of him already regretted coming. What if they find something? But another part of him felt relief. At least he was doing something. Eventually, a nurse called his name. Blood pressure, a few questions, a quick test, then more tests. The doctor's expression slowly changed from casual to focused. He asked Daniel more questions. How long have you felt this pressure? Do you exercise? Do you smoke? What does your diet look like? Daniel answered honestly. The room grew quieter with every answer. Finally, the doctor leaned back in his chair. His face wasn't angry. It wasn't dramatic. It was calm. Too calm. Daniel felt something cold move through his stomach. Then the doctor said the words. You should have come much earlier. 4 simple words, but they felt heavier than anything Daniel had ever heard. The doctor continued speaking, explaining test results, talking about blocked arteries, warning signs that had probably been there for years. Years. Daniel sat there silently. His mind started replaying every moment he had ignored. Every time he felt tired but blamed work. Every time his chest felt tight but he dismissed it. Every time someone suggested he take better care of himself. Every time he said he would start later. Later, later, later. Now the word sounded different. The doctor kept talking. Treatment options, lifestyle changes, medication, possibly surgery. The details blurred together. Daniel only heard one truth clearly. Time was no longer something he could assume he had. For the first time in his life, the future felt uncertain. When he walked out of the clinic, the world looked the same. Cars moved, people talked, shops were open. The sky was still the same color, but something inside him had changed. He sat in his car for a long time without starting the engine. His phone buzzed with notifications, emails, messages. None of them felt important anymore. He thought about his mother, the promises he kept delaying, the visits he never made. He thought about his own body, how it had been warning him quietly for years, and how he kept ignoring it, because he believed he had time. But the harsh truth about time is simple. It never promises anything. It just moves, slowly, silently, until one day you realize how much of it you wasted. Daniel drove home that night differently, slower, more aware. His apartment felt strangely quiet. The same couch, the same TV, the same empty routines, but now they looked like evidence of something he had neglected for too long. His life. He walked into the kitchen and opened the refrigerator. Fast food containers, sugary drinks, leftovers from nights when he was too tired to cook, small choices, repeated thousands of times. Each one seemed harmless in the moment, but together, they had built the reality he was now facing. That night, Daniel didn't turn on the TV. He sat in silence, thinking about everything he had postponed. Health, family, life. The doctor's words echoed again. You should have come much earlier. Those words weren't just about the clinic. They were about everything. The truth about life is uncomfortable. Most people don't lose their chances suddenly. They lose them slowly. One delayed decision at a time. One ignored warning at a time. One later, at a time. Daniel realized something painful. He had never truly been too busy. He had simply been careless with time, careless with health, careless with the people who loved him. And the worst part of regret is that it always arrives after the opportunity to act sooner has already passed. But regret can also do something else. It can wake you up. The next morning, Daniel did something he hadn't done in years. He woke up early, not because of an alarm, but because his mind refused to go back to sleep. The sun was just rising. The city was quiet. For the first time in a long time, he stepped outside and walked slowly, carefully. His chest still felt heavy, but his mind felt clearer. Every step reminded him of something simple. He was still here, still breathing, still given another day. That meant something. When he got home, he called his mother. She answered immediately, her voice filled with surprise and happiness. They talked longer than they had in years. No rushing, no excuses, just a real conversation. After that call, Daniel made other changes. Small ones at first: healthier food, daily walks, regular doctor visits, less time on his phone, more time paying attention to life. None of it was easy. Years of habits don't disappear overnight. Some days he felt strong. Other days he felt scared. But fear can be powerful when it teaches you what truly matters. Daniel began to understand something important. Life rarely sends dramatic warnings at first. It whispers. Through fatigue, through small symptoms, through quiet dissatisfaction, through the people asking for your time. But if you ignore those whispers long enough, eventually life speaks louder. Sometimes through pain, sometimes through loss, sometimes through a doctor's calm voice saying words you wish you had heard years earlier. Daniel could not change the past. He could not erase the years he spent delaying everything. But he could choose something different now. Responsibility, awareness, action. Every day became a reminder. Health is not guaranteed. Time is not guaranteed. The only thing you truly control is what you do today, not tomorrow, not someday. Today, because someday is the most dangerous lie we tell ourselves. Daniel still works. He still lives in the same apartment. His life looks simple from the outside, but inside, something is different. He no longer waits for the perfect moment. He visits his parents. He listens to his body. He values quiet mornings. He respects time, because he understands something many people only realize too late. Life doesn't take everything from you at once. It takes it slowly while you keep saying you'll deal with it later. Until one day someone looks you in the eyes and reminds you of a truth you should have faced long ago. Time was never waiting for you.